Hello there, friends, gamers, simmers, and pilots. I am the Killer Gamer, your pilot, and we are here in Amiga Flight Simulator, SubLogic Flight Simulator II, and we are going to be flying in Japan. The little Japan scenery is what we're going to be doing. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the flight. I'm going to go ahead and make my camera disappear. Okay, so this is the scenery for the Japan scenery disc. So let me go ahead and I'll show you where it is that we're at here. I don't want to highlight, I want to actually draw. Where's the draw? Here it is. That's the draw one. We're here at Hamamatsu. Is where we are. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be flying in this direction to Osaka. Then we're going to come back this way and go to Nagoya, and then down this way to Hamamatsu. I think I'm saying that right. From there, I don't know if I want to go to this airport up here or not. I guess that'll depend upon what time it is. Or maybe I'll just come back on another stream. But I'm thinking about going this way over into Tokyo. And so that might be a whole nother thing that we do. But the point is that we're here in Hamamatsu, and we're going to be going over here to Osaka. That is the start of everything. So we'll start looking up some VORs. To get to Osaka, it is 113.9. So we'll go ahead and set that up. Might be a little too far for the radios. So let's set Hamamatsu 112.0 and at a... what is that? It's hard to read. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit here. It's going all over the place. 21, somewhere around here. So 27, 24. See, 21, 22, 23. I'd say heading a 230 away from Hamamatsu. Hussein Ayman Sinjarik, hello, how are you? Welcome to this flight in Japan. You got all this stuff here. Let's go ahead and delete some of this stuff. It's dark. All right, so one 112.0. Let's go ahead and set the nav. We'll say nav 2 to 112.0. Oops. And we were saying 230. Right there. And then Osaka is at 113.9. Yeah, it's too far. So, as you can see, we're not getting any DME from that. That's okay. Once we get in range, we can set the VOR to get on over there. So, no problem. Well, I think we are all set. I don't think there's any comms or anything here. I don't think there's an ATIS. Let me see. Let me just double check. We do have a VOR or a ILS. I don't see ATIS though. Okay, well, that's perfectly fine. We don't have to have an ATIS. And we are moving. Bryce Torres. Hello. How are you? Welcome to some retro flight simulation. We're heading to a runway, in case you're wondering. Scenery is a little sparse. So that line right there is supposed to be a taxiway, apparently. You gotta use your imagination, I guess. You had to take the STAR test today. Well, how did that go? I hope that went well for you. It was boring. Here's the runway here. Looks like this is runway 24. Niels C68. Welcome back. Got some Japan flying we're gonna do. Indeed it was. I hope you're doing well. Okay, we're at 246. Oh no, wait a minute. We're on the right course. Maybe we'll move this down to about, 240, 238. You thought it looked like Japan? Well, you were right. Alrighty, Bryce. Glad to have you here. I understand about phones dying, so have a good one. Well, yeah, I mean, look at it. I mean, this says Japan all over, right? Oh, cool, Bryce. Whole bunch of stuff on the channel, so hope to see you again. We are going to be catching the 230 radial away from where we took off. I can't seem to remember what it was. Oh, you know what? We should probably raise the landing gear. That might actually be a good thing. There's the airport that we took off from. We got some serious mountains on these. These mountains are black with gray edging. Fando Jack Stauber. I'm not sure what language that is. It looks like that might be Japanese. I don't know. Jean Charles AI. Hey, I know this one, he says. Yep. This is SubLogic Flight Simulator II for the Commodore Amiga. Not my first flight simulator, but it was definitely the first flight simulator on the very first computer that I owned. Silent Yuki, how are you doing? Neil says, I recall flying out of Japan of all places. It was in Flight Simulator 2002 and a DC-10. I wondered why the engines kept running at such a high power while speed and climb rate was less than stellar. Then I noticed the landing gear was still down. Yeah, I never really do that. Fando Jack Stauber says he's from Brazil. Cool. Well, welcome. Unfortunately, there is no Brazil scenery for this old flight simulator. But, you know, we might be able to do it on Flight Simulator 5 or 98. All possibilities. Yuki, I am doing pretty good. Got my day off today, so I was thinking about streaming earlier, but you know, I'm just kind of chilling, taking it easy. I was getting things ready for this too. My goodness, we're at 5,000 feet. Let's set the autopilot here. We'll lock this in at 5,000 feet. And we're going to go ahead. I'm going to do what I did the last time, is I'm going to start saving save states on this, so that way we don't lose much progress if there is any type of error or anything. So I'll be doing that several times. That way we're not having to restart the entire flight. Jean-Charles says, I remember trying to flight the higher as possible. Morse code. Bando says, I'm go say Brazilian words. I'm broke. I don't get money until tomorrow. I might have a little bit of money. Well, GJet92, hello. Nice to have you here. So you may be wondering where we're flying. We are flying from Hamamatsu, Japan to Osaka International. Fondo has said something in Brazilian, and I don't know what it is. It could be anything. I'm not sure if I want to read it off. So I'm not sure how far away the flight is. Let me take a look at the map again. I can see or not. What is that? It's the nautical miles. It might be like 150 miles. Yep, the airport is long gone. It's way back there. Look at the mountains we got. Next time I do a save state, I'll show you the map. New Flight Simulator video coming out tomorrow of Flight Simulator 2020 and Say Intentions. Are you ready? Are you ready? Brady's Aviation says, is this the original Microsoft Flight Simulator? No, actually, this is SubLogic Flight Simulator II, which Microsoft Flight Simulator was based off of. But if we were to get more specific, Microsoft Flight Simulator 3 and 4 are based off of this version. Silent Yuki, so about an hour of flight. Oh, you mean this one here? Oh yeah, the AI satire continues with that video. I recorded a lot of stuff, so there's enough to entertain for a few more weeks. We're coming up to this water here, and I don't know if this is correct. Here, I'm going to do a save state, but while I'm doing that, I'm going to pull up the map here. Oh, okay, I think I see what we're doing. Let me just go ahead and pull up that map so you folks can see. So we are right in this area right here, Hamamatsu. We're heading out at a... I hate when it does that. We're heading out this direction. So I guess we are seeing this area right here, but I am definitely not going the right direction. We should be going... We might want to go at a heading of 220 instead of 230. We should be, let's see. We should be going down this direction here, like this. But we're coming out more this way. So let's go ahead and we'll change that. I'll go ahead and save the next state here. All right, so I'm going to change this to 2. Yeah, we'll do 220. Fondo says, I'm leaving the live stream to watch the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Well, have fun. I haven't heard anything about the movie, but I know I saw the first Super Mario and I really liked it. I'm interested in seeing the Super Mario Galaxy World, so we'll have to see how that goes. Niels is like, yeah, this could use a little bit of ortho photos and mesh. What do you mean? We got plenty of texture there. You can't see it? Light green, dark blue, light blue. I see some red, I see some orange. I see white, I see light gray. Oh man, we got everything we need. JK Studios. GJ, you didn't hear me say hello? I said hello to you a while ago. JK Studios, go, go, go. All in glorious 320 by 256 pixels. I guess. And Demo Z2Y says hello. Welcome to a fun Japan flight. And I'm going to be doing some multiple flights. I don't know if I'll do them all today or a little bit of today and a little bit tomorrow. I guess, well, we'll see. 320 pickles, that's a sour resolution. Well, what if they're sweet pickles? All right, here's a question. Who likes sour pickles or dill pickles? And who likes sweet pickles? Or who likes both? GJet92, I said hello. Can you not hear me? Can you hear me? Everyone else can hear me. I don't know, I like both. I like dill relish and sweet relish. Okay, what about your video, G-Jet? I actually did watch your stream. You did a good job with your landing. Those landings looked pretty smooth. Good job on that. We're flying over water. We are flying to Osaka, Japan. Distance, here we go. 78 miles away. There we go. Heading 209. All right, that'll take us to Osaka. Are you still there, G-Jet? You're asking about your video. One pixel is about 100 feet. That almost sounds like Minecraft. One block is like 100 feet, or is it 1 meter? I don't know. 1 meter? Something. Huh. Osaka International does not have an ILS. Well, that's interesting. I would have thought that one would have had one. The Angry Fish. Hello again. How are you? Welcome back to Flight Simulator for the Commodore Amiga. We are 71 miles from Osaka, Japan. Doing all right. Today is a day off for me from work. So, been busy doing a little bit of researching things and then getting things ready for this stream here. I was trying to decide if what I was going to do, and I know I still wanted to do the Japan scenery on the Amiga Flight Simulator, so here we are. Thinking about how we're going to land here. I'm not sure what the runway is. Runway 14, maybe. Alright, so we're going to set things up here. I'm going to make nav 2 our runway VOR. I'm going to set that to 140. Oh, well, Salayuki, it's my pleasure. I'm just glad I'm able to do more live streams again. Now that our internet is not so limited anymore. I'm speechless. I don't know. I'm not sure what to talk about today. Hi, Kitty. Hi, Spice. Oh, I did bike. I biked a couple of days ago. I did the whole 20-mile bike ride to work. So there's that. And I might have to do more bike riding. I don't know, my wife came across a video that they're putting more ethanol into gas. And so it's resulting in less miles per gallon. So it's actually costing you more money in gas. So I don't know the facts about all of that, but I have noticed that it seems like when you put gas in your tank, it doesn't seem to last as long as it used to. I thought maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but I don't know. Just something weird about it, so I don't know. I might be biking more. You see, I don't take ethanol. I don't need ethanol to run. What about you, Spice? Do you need any ethanol? No? Just pets? Is that what you run off of? Is pets? Yeah, that's what I hear too, that it's not good for the engine. Although some people are saying that more later cars can handle the change in the ethanol, but not the older ones. Well, that doesn't help the people with the older cars, so... Yeah, I don't know what's going on with all that. I know that a couple of days ago I biked. I was able to get a bus ride for $1. That got me halfway home, and then my wife picked me up from there, since it's uphill going that way. So $1 for a ride. That's not bad at all. How older? I'm not sure, honestly. I don't know all the details on it. Well, maybe I could do some research and do a video on it. Spice goes, Don't give ethanol to cats. Have you seen what happened to Puss in Boots? No, did something? Well, what happened to him? I can't say I watched that movie. I watched Shrek 1 and 2, and unfortunately, I saw Shrek 3, and that was the end. I couldn't handle any more after that. I cleared this off over here. You can jump up here. There you go. For those that just happen to be watching on the video or in the vertical stream, I can say hi to you, and Spice can say hi. Say hi, Spicy. Say hi. Oh, I know. I was just wondering if you were talking about the Puss in Boots movie, and if something happened. Because I heard the Puss in Boots movie was actually not bad. I never watched it. Spice is now in my lap, purring. He's like, I'm at the center of attention. All is right with the universe. We got 39 miles to go. Now's a good time to do a save state. Let's see. Save by Spice. And number 4. Let's go ahead and change our autopilot, and we'll bring it down to 3,500 feet. We're going to begin our descent. There's Cat here on my keyboard. Spice. It's hot. He's shedding. So I've been drinking this tea that I get from Quick Trip. It's a green tea that's got lemon and ginseng in it, something like that. It's pretty good though. Yeah, Spice is my co-pilot. He's my co-pilot in the airplane as he was in the semi-truck. In case anyone is wondering, I have been streaming on Twitch again. The streams that you're watching are actually on Twitch as well. So I may be doing multiple streams from different places. Like the streams that I'm doing over on Killer Cubes, my Minecraft channel, are being multi-streamed over on Twitch. If I do any more streams over for Killer Games, that'll also be multi-streamed over to Twitch. So if you're not following me on Twitch and you want to catch, you know, all the live streams or anything, you'll be able to catch them all there. Now, some of the other channels that I have, they don't have enough subscribers to where I can live stream on them. They're just too small. So some of those things I will live stream here, since I want to make videos for them, like Civilization, for example. The Sims is another possibility. I didn't think about that, because I found a way to where you can live stream and also record, but when you record, you don't record the mic. So this is really going to open up some possibilities for me to do more live streaming. Earl Grey, hot. Osaka, Japan is... We're 25 miles away from it. I think we may have to just turn off the autopilot here. I've been getting into this routine, 160 knots. Well, yeah, you know, this is an old plane. It doesn't have all the electronic baggage on it, so it actually flies quicker. Miles. So I've been getting into the habit with my tea drinking that when I get off work at 1 o'clock and I get home, I already have like a green tea or like sleepy time tea ready to drink for the rest of the day. Both the green tea and the sleepy tea make me tired. You might be thinking, what, wait, green tea, that's got caffeine. Yes, I know. I don't know why. Black tea doesn't put me to sleep, but green tea does. And I learned that when I was driving the truck. Because I would drink green tea thinking, yeah, this has got some caffeine. This will be nice and, you know, gentle on my stomach and, you know, give me, you know, that boost to be able to drive. And I was getting tired. And I couldn't figure out why. And then it would wear off. So yeah, that was just a weird thing. This looks like this does have an ILS. Go ahead and put our landing gear down. And I'm going to do another save state. Paranoia is healthy. No, the green tea is not to keep me awake. That's to help me get tired. Green tea, apparently, it depends upon the person, but it can have a very relaxing effect, and that in turn can kind of help you sleep. We got 14 miles to go. It's hard to tell where the ground is at. Well, I can tell you that Osaka International is at 49 feet, according to the flight simulator map, which you're not supposed to use for real flights. Oh, it froze! The simulator froze. I had a feeling that was going to happen. That's why I've been doing these save states. I thought it was maybe just a scenery disc on the last one, but nope. Robert Oates, 7452. How many scenery discs were there for the Amiga version of Flight Simulator 2? Not many. There was 7, 9, 11, and 12. Japan, Hawaii, Western Europe, the Western European tour. There are some other ones that are debatable. Like I saw like an Eastern China scenery disc. I've not tried it to see if it's even legit. And there's like a Eastern Canada one, and I don't know if that one's legit either. But the ones that I know of are Japan, Hawaii, 7, 9, 11, and 12, and Europe. Those are the ones that I know of. Unfortunately, scenery discs 1 through 6. Oh, did I mention 12? I'm sorry. 12 is on the Amiga also. Scenery discs 1 through 6 were not done for the Amiga. I wish they were. And 8 and 10 were never released at all on any of them. They never completed them. "10 miles. We should be seeing the airport soon." I need to do something about our height because we are really low right now. I think the airport is over there. I see like a little bit of gray, and I'm like wondering if that's part of the runway or what. Yeah, I know. You need more power! More power! I wonder if this runway is just going to magically appear in front of us. It's going to be one of those. 7 miles. It should be like in front of us, over to the left is where it should be. I was going to pull up the map, but nah. See if we can just happen to find it. Yeah, I know. They all do look alike. That's why you got to use the instruments. We are 4 miles away. Where the heck is the airport? It's not that way. I think I know where the airport's at. It's right there in front of us. There's a little bit of gray. I think that's it. That right there is the airport. Yeah, it's got 2 runways, that's it. Shot 97! Hey, haven't seen you in a bit. Easier to make out the differences between roads and airports when you're higher up, yes. Now, see, now 8,000 is too high because then I can't... I fly over the airport. I can't find it. Now, I saw a fuel... I saw a fuel box somewhere over here. I think that's it up ahead. Or that's a mountain in the distance. I'm not sure. Let's take a look at the map and we'll find out. Oh, it's over here. Okay. There it is. When you say pixel jockey, the first thing that comes to my mind is pixel jockey. Y'all remember when I used to call these fuel boxes like soap boxes? Because it looks like a big bar of ivory soap. Watch, I'll wind up hitting something. Oh, come on now. It'll be an invisible barrier or something. Yes, we definitely have to wash it. F for fast wash. Or fresh. Where's my brake? Oh, I guess it doesn't say brake when you brake. Alright, let's go ahead and I will do a save state on this. And then we will go to our next flight. I will go ahead and pull that up here. And here we go. Pull up the, my headphones are blocking. Wrong one. So here we are. Osaka. And we're going to be flying over here to Nagoya. Or we will go to Gifu or whatever that is. Probably Nagoya, I'm thinking. Let's see. Yeah, there's a VOR there, 114.2. So we'll tune that in there. But it looks like we need to head out at a heading of 9. 090. Probably from... That's a little too far. 10. 100 from Osaka should actually get us there. Let's see. Whoops. Nagoya. By the way, I think there's a delay in between the time that I'm doing something and the time that you're responding. So I think you're responding before I see it or something. There's a delay. 114.20. That says from. We may not have distance on this one. That's gonna suck. All right. I think we are ready for our next flight. There is also scenery with a piano, right? Why does that sound familiar? That sounds familiar, but I'm not sure. Oh, this thing did not just freeze on me. Yep, it did. This is why I'm doing save states. Now I have to change everything. What the heck? This isn't doing anything either. Technical problems. Well, the clock is moving. There we go. All right, I'm going to set it up for that. What did I say it was? 144.20. I think that's what it was. All right, let's go ahead and try this again. Alright, so Shot was saying, I swear I remember a screenshot for the scenery disc where they either were inside a mountain or inside a house. Like it was a giant house with a kitchen and you flew around. That does sound familiar. Yeah, the crash is more with the emulator than it is with the scenery. Whenever I go out of it to click on a different window and come back more than enough times, it decides to freeze it up. So that's why I've been doing save states. So it's not really the scenery. The scenery is fine. It's something with the emulator. And there it goes. We got these cool mountains in the distance. Niels was saying something about mesh. Mesh and ortho photos. Well, we have dark green and light green ortho, and we've got polygon pyramid mountain meshes up there. Now that I'm up in the air, I'll do another save. See, and then I click out of the window and come back and it freezes. That's because I was I was clicking on another window. Yeah, it's Win UAE. I didn't used to have this problem, so I don't know what it is now. We're on our way, and we're going to try to catch the... Oh, shoot. Not 110. 100, that's right. The 100 train from the Osaka VOR. And we are not going to 8,000 feet. We'll go to 5,000 feet. Yeah, I hear you, Shot. I don't know which version of Win UAE I have. It's an old one. I don't think it's that old, actually, but it's definitely not one of the recent ones. And Windows 11, yeah, that's not what this computer is. This one's Windows 10. But my new computer is a Windows 11 computer. And that one has actually broken stuff. But for the most part, it's okay. I'm just glad I got my Windows 10 computer. No, the emulator doesn't freeze itself because I can go back to the main menu and load up a previous save state. But the simulator itself does freeze because the time freezes. It doesn't move anymore. But the emulator itself doesn't lock up. No, if it was paused, the thing is I've gone back and forth between windows before and it was just fine. Like when I was starting the stream, I was doing that and it was fine. But then later it starts having problems. I wish I had a good answer. I don't. Oh. I gotta go turn on the air conditioning. It's hot. All right, folks, sorry, I'm back. Silent Yuki says, they say that the propeller is used to cool down the pilot because when the propeller stops, the pilot starts to sweat a lot. That's good. $70 miles. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . I had to grab my my sleepy tea. I'm trying to get into the habit where I'm going to bed around 7:30, 8 o'clock and waking up like 2:30 in the morning, because that's about what time I got to leave in order to bike to work. But on days that I don't bike, I want to be able to go to the gym and do my workout in the morning. That way, when I get off work, I can come home and I can either do a live stream or work on some videos or something. Because doing the live streams earlier in the day, I think more people are going to be able to watch. Hey, Flight Y2K. Good to see you, man. I always do my best. I gotta get my video made of when I made that 50-60 mile bike ride when I biked all the way to Swift. That happened. I have it recorded, I just don't have it edited. Something to look forward to. Homemade sourdough bread is the greatest. My mother-in-law made a lot of sourdough bread for Easter, so that stuff is good. Your 2002 flight is on my list to watch, by the way. It's on my watch later list. I come across things I'm like, yeah, I want to watch that. So, it's on my list. Where is this flight to? We're in Japan, and we took off from Osaka. And I'll show you here, but I need to save the game, because every time I switch out, it likes to freeze and stuff. So give me a moment here and I'll show you where we are. Yep, the minute I clicked out of it, it froze. That's weird. It was not doing it that much before. It's weird that it's doing it now. Okay, so right there, that's where we took off from. And we are flying over here to Nagoya. Let's see. That looks like a runway of 0 and 1/8, so we don't exactly want to fly directly to it. We're going to want to fly off to the side, so that way we can come and land at it. You notice how the time's not moving? Yeah, it's frozen. That's the I thought maybe it had something to do with the scenery, because I've never had this problem before. But I was having this problem a lot with the Hawaii island hopping. That'll be cool. As far as the FS9 that you're planning on doing. So how are you liking FS8, aka 2002? Are you kind of getting into it, or you're just kind of like, yeah, I've had my fill, and I'm going back to FS9? It's a very dark sim. You make it sound like it's evil or something. It's a simulator from the dark part of the web. I guess it depends upon where you got it from. I like to think of 2002 as a misunderstood simulator. Misunderstood, underappreciated. Although I still stick to the story that it's an unfinished version of Flight Simulator 2004. This shot's like, well, it is made by Microsoft. No, it's just that the lighting is really dark. I honestly think Flight Sim 2000 has better lighting. Have you had the pleasure of working with the ATC on Flight Simulator 2002? Either it's just me or that ATC has issues. Because literally it gives me instructions, and if I don't do it quick enough, it cancels my flight plan. I don't think I've been able to finish one flight with the ATC without them canceling on me. Gotta load up a disk. Okay, good. Now that that's done. Moving some stuff around here. Shot says, I like how the AI ATC has been killing. You know, Shot, I don't know how to take that. What exactly are you trying to say? And I thought you liked me. Am I ever going to do any of those Sims again? Which, oh, you mean like 2002 FS9 and stuff? Yes, I do. I do plan to do that. The Amiga Flight Simulator has just been on my mind as of late. Because of these areas, the Hawaii and the Japan. I'm pretty sure I flew them back in the day, but I don't think I did it much. And I've been wanting to do this for a while, so I'm just kind of like, yeah, let's just go ahead and do it. Right? Shot 97. Are we at a safe height? Because it looks like we're going to crash into these mountains. Oh no, we're good, mate. I know, that totally had me going. And what about the part when the plane was upside down? And he's like, no, man, we're good. Yeah, I have been in the Minecraft mood because of just building and creating a world and stuff. But I mentioned this before, that I am going to be working on a new global tour. Not the world tour that you folks remember from long ago. This is going to be a brand new thing. I'm going about it in a whole different way. And the global tour is actually going to be over on the Flight Sim channel. So I've got a different idea for that. In the meantime, if you're for those of you that have been with me for a while, if you remember when I used to do all the recordings or the flights on Twitch, and then I turned them into videos and stuff. That's at the moment. That's pretty much kind of like what we're doing right now. So yeah, so I'll be going back to doing those random flights on different simulators and stuff, just like the old days. And then I'll clean them up and I'll turn them into videos, and they'll go over on the Flight Sim channel. I want the Flight Sim channel to be more of a serious type of channel in regards to the flights and stuff like that. It'll still have some fun and stuff like that, but I want it to have a little bit more of a serious tone. That way, that helps set it apart from this channel, where we can still do flight sim and stuff like that, and just and whatever happens, type of thing. Have you really? You mean on the Flight Sim channel or this channel? Because there's a lot on this channel. I haven't even gotten it all moved over. I've got so much cleaning up to do. I mean, literally, I have actually moved videos, like old live streams and videos from this channel over to the Flight Sim channel. And some people that are, that are following me there, that are following me here, they've never seen it before. They're like, oh, this is great. This is a great video. But it's one that I've had in my library for a long time. There's so much content here that people can't find it. So that's why I want to get it out, so that way people can find it easier and be able to appreciate it. Well, if you've seen most of it, then you probably know my flying style inside and out. You know exactly what not to do. Why didn't I plug my phone in? Yeah, I know. See, that's what I'm saying. I've got stuff that's just so old. They're buried. They're just in there, and they're hard to find. I wish I could fly those jets better. I need to have you train me on how to land those jumbo jets, because you land those things super smooth. Like, the flights I've seen you do are like butter. Your landings are butter. Mine's made out of margarine. You've got butter landings. Mine are margarine. Parquet. It's not butter, it's parquet. What? What, Spice? I'm sorry. Am I being too loud? It's okay. I'm not mad. We're having a good time. All right, I think we're getting close. We'll go ahead and do another save state here. And let's go ahead and turn the autopilot off. Flight Simulator actually has a jet. There's a Learjet in here that you can fly. I'm pretty sure the airport's over on the other side of this river. Yeah, you're right. On those jets, you never know how those are going to end. It's all the same when it comes to the fundamentals. You're just in a bigger, faster tin can. Yeah, it's probably true. What I've noticed from you mostly is that you don't give yourself enough room and you come in too fast. That's about right. That's about right. Silent Yuki says, I think there is a white part of Mount Fuji. Yes, that's what I'm seeing too. Of Mount Fuji. Yeah, right over here. Yep, I think that's what that is. We are 19 miles from the airport. And we are on our descent. I know, it's great, isn't it? This is what my dreams look like. This is the stuff that dreams are made of. Now, we can't smell the grass here, but when I fly one of the modern versions and fly a jumbo jet, then yes, you'll smell the grass there. Restream just gave me a congratulations, you've received 100 messages today with Restream chat. Woohoo! "14 miles. to try to level ourselves out here. I hate how I go to get this thing leveled and it just goes back down anyway. Very temperamental. Do I still have my Windows 95 PC? I don't have a Windows 95 PC. I have a Windows 98/XP PC, and yes. I do have a Windows 95 emulated PC. I do have that. But as far as the real PC, it's a 98 dual boot of 98 and XP. It's sitting right next to me inside of a plastic box. I want to do some Flight Sim 2000 stuff, so when I pull this thing out, I'll probably be doing a lot of flights with it. I need to finish my Civilization 3 campaign that I've been doing, and that's happening on that PC. You know, it has been forever and a day since I actually flew this scenery. And I don't mean the Amiga, I just mean in general. I think this is the airport. Right here. I think that's the airport. Wait. No. This is it. Wait. No, this is the other airport. It's this one. That's right, there's two airports. Here, I'll show you. This might actually work if I do this. I have a possible solution. Let's see. Boop. Okay. So GIFU. That's the one that we're seeing. We're coming in this direction here. And so GIFU is right there. Nagoya is going to be right here. So we're pretty much in between them. Just kind of, that's kind of like where we want to be too. Would you say it's... Oh, hold on. What's this? I think the last 2000 video I saw of yours, you landed sideways at Zurich. I was being a daredevil on that one. Windows 10 11 compatibility mode is able to run all sims starting from 95 up. Lately installed FS95 and Windows and it ran flawlessly. I think Flight Simulator 95 is worth trying, definitely. Well, that's good. I'm glad that's working for you, because I've had issues with the old Sims. Well, I mean, if you fly them vanilla, it's probably fine, but I like to put add-ons and stuff like that, and that's where the problem starts to come in. We are 6 miles away. Well, let me put it this way. Windows 95 is just a Windows version of Flight Simulator 5. It's a little better. And it's got the newer menu versions and stuff like that, but 98 is heads over tails better than 95. Or should I say head over heel? I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Like the difference between 2002 and 2004. Just like between Flight Simulator 3 and Flight Simulator 4. I mean, 95 is okay, but it still suffers from a limited database of airports. And it technically was Flight Simulator 6. Flight Simulator 98 is Flight Simulator 6.1. But it is a huge jump between 6.0 and 6.1. It's more pixelated. Well, the textures on Flight Sim 5 or 95 are, you know, a little bit more on the rough side. It's got its charm, though. Yep, just like 5 and 5.1. Actually, Windows Flight Sim 95 has a little bit more of an improvement on the textures. There is some, it's not much, but there is a little bit of improvement. I do remember noticing that when I was flying them. 2,000 feet. Oh, there's the airport. Yep. Wow, this one has real taxiways, it looks like. They're not just lines. It looks like it might actually be actually paved. I guess we'll find out when we get there. Nope, they're lines. I was hoping they would actually be full. This one's got a control tower. This is true. I do agree with you, Shot. I guess they had to do this in order to fit it on the floppy. Thank you, thank you. We'll just follow this line here. Yeah, we'll park over here by the tower. What about that tower? You worry about those fighters, I'll worry about the tower. Oh, that's what that's for. I was hitting a button and I'm like, oh, realize that's what that was doing. Oh, there's the brakes. Them the brakes, kid. All right, let's go ahead and save our state here, because I'm about to click on something else. All right, let's go ahead and pull up the map here. Yeah, bigger soapbox. Let me get on my soapbox here for a moment, and let me tell you where we're going to be flying to next. All right, so I think we'll just make a short flight from Nagoya here to Hamamatsu. Hamamatsu. There we go. Hamamatsu. Yeah, I got it. That's where we're going right there. 114.7 is the thing, and it's this is at an altitude of 151 feet, so it's going to be right over here. So that should be close enough for us to be able to take off and get a signal from the radio. So we will go ahead and do that. 114.7. $55 miles. No, actually for the brake, it's the #1 key. I thought it was period. No, the period, the period and the comma is the rudder. On Microsoft Flight Simulator, the period is the brake, but here it's the 1 key on the numerical keypad, because the 7 and the 1 is supposed to be the elevator trim. But on the Amiga, no. Apparently, I have to, at least the emulator anyway, but I have to use the, but then again, I think I have, or do I? I don't know. I think I have the numerical keypad set up kind of like it. I'm not sure how I have it set up, but I know the period and the comma on the keyboard go to the rudder controls for some reason. And then over on the numerical keypad, the 0 and the period are also the rudder keys, and there's not an option to change it. All right, 136 is the heading that we need to go to. Yep, the VOR is working on the ground. We're going to head over to this runway, and actually we're going to go this direction. The runway we landed on is the one we want to take off from. Remember, those mountains is where, on the other side is where Tokyo is at. Look at this, we got this nice little line here that will take us right to the runway. How convenient. I don't know how many people back then that were flying this were actually using taxiways anyway. And the more taxiways and stuff that they put, that's just less scenery they can put on a floppy disk. So I can see why they simplified it. It was funny, though, back then, my teenage years, you know, with the Commodore 64 and scenery discs 1 through 6, they're just runways. That's all they are. And my young teenage mind is like, why don't these have taxiways? Why are they just runways out in the middle of nowhere? How come they can't be as good as they were on the default scenery? Yeah. Little did I understand it was because there was only so much information they could put on a floppy disk. Kind of like my brain at the time. There was limited amount of information that could be stored on my teenage brain. Very thin taxiways in Japan. They have to have monowheel planes. There's an idea. Maybe I should ask AI to generate a picture of a monowheel airplane. Might get an interesting result. I can turn it into a music video. It'll be my next music video. Monowheel airplane. That sounds like a group. You know, kind of like Jefferson Airplane. Monowheel airplane. I like it. It has a ring to it. Monowheel airplane. right, there we go. I see the fuel box back there. All right, let's make sure that everything is okay here. We're on target. Heading 136 to Hamamatsu. Hamamatsu. It'd be fun to kind of duplicate these flights over on Flight Sim 2020 and X-Plane just to kind of see what they look like. And hey, I can use AI and it can dump me in the ocean, you know. Nope, no problem. We're underwater. Yep, sky's all clear. Let me tell you about the ocean here around Japan while we're sinking. Yes, very true shot, very true. I remember how on the Amiga you could have it on one disc, yet on the PC it took like two of them. And then you have the crazy install of the video toaster. That thing had like, shoot, 20, 30 floppy disks? Heck, I can't freaking remember. There were so many of them. Never tell me the odds. Han Solo. My daughter is saying that Graveyard Keeper is free on Steam. It's normally $25. It's similar to Stardew Valley and Terraria. I still need to play Stardew Valley. I have it. I haven't played it. I've played Terraria. I haven't played much of it. Has anybody played Graveyard Keeper? I've not heard of it. I'll have to check it out, though. Oh, I've got an answer to Shot 97's comment there. The odds of surviving a plane crash, let me tell you, they might be a little better than the odds of me actually landing a jetliner on Flight Simulator. It's funny how the rudder does not work the way it's supposed to in the old Flight Sim. When I use the rudder, it allows me to just, slowly turn it without it banking. But you do it on a modern Flight Sim, and I guess it works the way it's supposed to, because when you use the rudder by itself, it does kind of slowly turn you in that direction. But then it starts going back to where it was. I think that's how it's supposed to work. Or close to what it was. Like here, I can just I can use the rudder and just kind of slowly inch it as I turn. But that doesn't quite work the same way on a modern one. So like when I was lining up on the last airport, I was using the rudder on that. That's how I would fly these. It allowed me to still see the runway and still be able to turn rather than it, banking at an angle. Unless I really needed to turn quickly. It's a glider turn. That's just mean. Maybe that should be one of my next live streams. Maybe I should play Stardew Valley for the first time. .4 miles to go. We're cruising at a speed of 150 knots. And I've got this thing decently leveled out, too. I didn't have to use the autopilot on this one. Now, granted, I'm not over 2,000 feet, but we're not going that far, so... Finally cooled off in here after I turned the air conditioner on. What plane is it? This plane here? It's a Cessna. All right, it's time to figure out our landing approach here. Let's figure out what we're going to do. Put the map back up here. Okay, Hamamatsu. That looks like a runway of 10 and 28, because that's what that looks like. All right. This should be interesting. Did I say 80? Flightway 2K says, was this the version that only had 2 aircraft types? Yes, this only has 2 aircraft types. And that started on the Amiga, actually, because on the Commodore 64, you either had it was a Piper on the C64, but you had that, or you could go into the World War II, right? World War Ace or whatever it was. But if you wanted to fly a jet, you had to have the separate SubLogic jet, which used the same scenery discs. But the Amiga and the Atari ST, they gave you both the Learjet. So yeah, you could fly prop or Learjet. That was kind of nice. And then they still had a SubLogic jet for the Amiga also, which I don't think I ever got. There's our airport. And then likewise, Flight Simulator 3, I think that has a Cessna and a jet. The same with 4, but the difference with 4 is that's the one that's got all the add-ons and the custom content and all of that. That's when it started to get really good. Because now you weren't limited to just what the simulator had or whatever scenery SubLogic put out. But I tell you what, the more you added to it, the more chances your game would crash, because DOS computers had that, like low memory, high memory, extended memory, yada yada limitations. Yeah, I thought this is the first one with the jet. I like Flight Sim 4. I don't care about Flight Sim 3. I don't even see what the purpose is on flying it. 4 is better. I just feel bad for anyone that actually bought it back in the day, because it's like Flight Simulator 3 came out, and then a few months later, the 4th one came out, something like that. you imagine how upset people probably were when that happened? And so like, oh, I don't need to upgrade. And then, you know, they're finding out that all these new add-ons and stuff are coming out for the fourth one, but not the one that they've got. Yeah, I can see people getting mad about that. No computer will ever need more than 680 kilobytes of memory. Well, if that happened, we wouldn't have Star Trek computers. I'm a little too high, I think. Demo, unrelated question. Did working in trucking change how you feel about trucking sims? No. No, it did not. If anything, I can actually drive it better than what I did before I was in trucking. I know where you're coming from on that, though, because I know that there are some real truckers that have tried trucking sim, and some are like, I do this for a living, I don't need to play it as a game, you know? But no, see, the thing with me is I like traveling. I like driving. I like traveling. I didn't like all the crap in between. You know, the stuff at shippers and receivers and the stuff at truck stops, and the pay just sucked. But the driving part, I love that. So likewise with American and European Truck Simulator, same thing. You know, I haven't played them in a while, but I still enjoy them. Do you see how I'm turning? I'm using the rudder. Actually, yeah, you're right. Shot. They were just Microsoft Flight Simulator. Can I get on the runway? I didn't realize I was going to be sliding off in this direction here. Wait, it sounds like we will fix and support Microsoft Flight Simulator for 10 years, and then... Yeah, right? Exactly. You can see Mount Fuji. Yes, they have, actually. I know Illinois is in the works. I think Iowa is being worked on. Here, we'll pull it up here in a moment. We'll take a look. We'll park over here so we can get a view of Mount Fuji. Take the plane onto the grass here. All right. Oh, what the heck? What's all that stuff there? Oh, let's see. American Truck Simulator. Hey, it's on sale. If you want American Truck Simulator, it's $4.99. Okay. There's a 2118 bundle for 12. Wow. That's cool. Okay, so Louisiana. Okay, that one I don't have. It's on my wish list, but it is out. Well, now that it's on sale, maybe I'll get it. I get paid tomorrow. Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, Idaho, Utah, Washington, Oregon, New Mexico. New Mexico is free, I think. So yeah, there you go. So they're still working on Illinois. And I know there's another one they're working on too. It's down here. Oh, British Columbia. They're going to be working on British Columbia and also South Dakota. So yeah, quite a bit. How much is everything all together? Let me see. I had it up here. Whoops. Can I go back? There's a pack there that has... Okay, hold on. Buy American Truck Simulator Deluxe Edition. For $33, it's 54% off. You'll get Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Utah, New Mexico, Texas, and Montana. Looks like each of the sceneries are either $11 or $5 or something like that. So that's a good amount of expansions. And then you could just buy another state, another, you don't have to get it all at once. You can just get the next state, in the next month or, whatever. Bobcat. There's a Bobcat cargo pack. Interesting. I've got Iowa and I haven't even driven it yet. I need to. So that's another live stream I need to do. I need to do some truck simulator live streams. You have to get your truck out of the ditch first. We can do a convoy. That's a great song, by the way. Convoy. All right, where are we flying to now? Where are we flying to now? Let's take a look. Let's find out. Well, we are getting close to Tokyo. I think probably the best thing to do is to go from Hamamatsu and go to Matsum. I can't even pronounce that. Matsumso. Right there. So this way. Hamamatsu. And then to Tokyo. Shimufasa. Okay, so this it's okay, the C or the O was cut off. It's Matsumoto. That's the name of it, Matsumoto. It's 117.6. 117.6. .6. I have to stop something and start something here. Looks like a heading of 030 will take us there from our current VOR. Okay. Go ahead and get this show on the road. Maybe Iowa has the plaque from James T. Kirk's future birthplace. That'd be really cool. I do think they've got the Iowa 80 truck stop. I don't think it's called the Iowa 80. But that is something I've been wanting to see if it's in the scenery. That is a really neat place to check out, I gotta say. Let's take off from the same runway we landed on. I mean, like, the same direction. You want to hear something funny? I am looking at the Restream page, because it's what's got all the chat and stuff on it, and it says frame rate 60 frames per second. Yep, sure looks like it. Tokyo and then Fukushima. You know, there's a statue or something like that of Catherine Janeway from wherever she was born. I remember seeing something about that. Why not Benjamin Sisko? Come on, how come we don't have the Sisko? How come we don't have a plaque for the Sisko? Voyager, yep. We are in the air. There she goes. This could be a little bit of a longer flight, I think, on this one. So, since we're on the topic of Star Trek here, who watched Starfleet Academy and what did you think of it? And I will let you know my thoughts. Let me just say I did not watch the whole thing. I watched half of it. I wonder if we're going to have to cross these mountains. Yeah, I watched half the series. The last one I saw had to do with the Klingon and them trying to find a whole new home world, which I thought that was probably the best one that they had, but then I lost interest after that. I just stuck my nose into Minecraft. I didn't get involved. My mom had watched the whole thing, and she's like, "You're not missing anything." I'm like, "So it got worse?" And she's like, "Yep." I'm like, "Okay." You lost IQ because of that show. Out of the new Star Trek, let me tell you what I did like. I liked season 3 of Picard. That was definitely a good send-off for the next gen crew. Lower Decks. I like Lower Decks. I thought that was just a fun show. The Prodigy. I did not watch the second season, but I did watch the first, and I thought that was definitely true Trek. You know, it was wholesome. It was fun, family friendly. Strange New Worlds, for the most part, I like. We'll have to see where it goes from here. I know they've only got like 1.5 years left. Like 2 more seasons, but like the 5th one is like half a season or something. I do like Anson Mount as Captain Pike, though. I think he does a really good job. And what is it, Rebecca Romijn, who plays number 1? I like her. Ethan Peck as Spock, I think he does a pretty good job too. I mean, all in all, I like that show. I was never really quite sure what to think of Discovery when it came out. I couldn't finish the 4th year. It got to the point where I was like scraping my nails on a chalkboard. So I didn't finish the 4th year, and the 5th year, I just didn't care. The first season of Picard was okay. It definitely had issues, though, I thought. The second season was, it was alright. The third one was definitely... They should have just skipped seasons 1 and 2 and went to 3. Oh yeah, no, Discovery was getting worse, absolutely. I thought it was... I liked the second season with Pike, I thought that was good. And then in the third season, they jumped all the way, way far into the future, and I thought that had some great story possibilities with it. But it seems like in almost every scenario, Michael Burnham had to be the savior, We can't think for ourselves. We can't do this for ourselves. In comes Michael Burnham. I'll save you. That was just getting so old. And they never spent enough time on the other members of the crew. It's like you see them on the bridge, and you're like, who are they? I see them every episode, but they never do anything with them. I hated that aspect of it also. I wanted to know more about the crew. I'd have to say my 2 favorite characters from Discovery were Saru. I liked Saru, and I liked what's his name? Stidham. The engineer that plugged himself up to the that flipped the spore drive. I forgot his name. I liked him.
About the redhead chick.
The redhead chick, you mean, I can't remember her name either. And she's okay. Oh, Tilly. Yeah, I remember Tilly because in the Mirror Universe, it was Captain Killy. Oh no, Captain Killy, that was cool. When they did the Mirror Universe double episode, and you finally got to see Captain Killy. Oh, that was sweet. You know what? They should have just done Discovery in the Mirror Universe. I think that would have been far more interesting and entertaining. All right, we got 76 miles to go. Been drinking my sleepy time tea and I'm still awake.
I just woke up, so.
I may have to fly around this black pyramid of a mountain.
So what version are you using?
This is the Amiga Flight Simulator 2. Dates back to 1987, I think. 87 or 88.
So they're little shapes.
Yep, just shapes. And that was good enough for me back then. And then Flight Sim 5 came out on the PC, and I looked at that. I'm like, oh, I gotta play that. And I had a PC emulator for my Amiga, and it was a slideshow. because a Motorola processor was trying to emulate an Intel processor, and that just don't work. Not back then. So that was the whole reason why I got a PC to begin with, because I wanted to fly it because it had textures and stuff. 1986. I've been corrected. It's 1986. So I was off by 1 and 2 years.
It's okay.
The Black Peak. Oh. I can adjust this here so we can get the correct vector. Okay, the correct vector is 0, 1, 0. Basically, just follow that white line there. There, so we don't have to fly over a mountain after all. One of my viewers said that they lost IQ by watching Starfleet Academy. I think my mom felt the same way. I don't know. I had stopped watching right before the Klingon was in a dress or a skirt or whatever it was that was going on. I missed. It's supposed to be a dress uniform of some kind. At least I think that's what it was, but I don't know. I just lost interest. I've been like rewatching like Stargate episodes. Silent Yuki says the Amiga was great for 2D graphics but struggled with 3D. It was a totally different system with bit planes and so on. I don't know. I think it did okay with 3D. I don't know. Shot, what do you say? Because I know I've played some 3D games on it. There's that one from Psygnosis, Aquaventure, I think is what it's called. That one's 3D. That one was okay. What are some other ones? But I do know, like, Doom. like a lot of people wanted to see Doom, and they had to come out with Gloom, or something like that. Yeah, Stargate Atlantis is good. That one I like. Rodney McKay. He's my man. Rodney's the best. But honestly, they were all good. Shepard was good. Ronan. Come on, Aquaman before he was Aquaman. I knew him back when he was Ronan Dex. And I did watch Stargate Universe also. I think I made it to like the second year, but I never did finish it. They're supposed to be coming out with a new series. It was announced. Oh, and another thing that's coming back is Firefly. It's coming back as an animated series with the original actors. They announced that during a like Comic-Con or Sci-Fi Con or something like that. Yeah, Universe did have a great idea. Is there a comic? Does it help? Like, I knew it ended on a cliffhanger, and then they just kind of left it there, unfortunately. That's an interesting way to look at it, Shot. Is that DOS did it by brute force through the CPU. Never really thought about that, but yeah, that kind of makes sense. Like, they kind of forced that computer to do stuff. Eventually, with sound cards and graphics cards and stuff, unfortunately, it surpassed the native graphic chips of the Amiga. Although I gotta say that the graphics cards that did come out for the Amiga, wow, you could really see some neat things. I had like Cybervision 64, I think, is what I had. I just remember a Cybervision. And I think the only thing I used it for mainly was to I think I used it for some like paint programs, but I used it more for Mac emulation is what I used it for. Because I don't remember any games that would take advantage of it. We are 49.210 miles from the airport. Look at that big monstrosity there. Monstrosity. I can't even think of any TV shows or movies. What do y'all think about the Harry Potter thing that's coming out? I just... meh. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. And also, too, I'd hate to invest my time watching the Harry Potter TV show when there's a chance that they may never finish it anyway. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the Wheel of Time. I've read all the books of Wheel of Time. I gotta tell you, it takes a lot of dedication to read the Wheel of Time series because the books are long. And there's a lot of detail. I mean, sometimes it's so much you've got to take kind of a break or read it in parts because it doesn't move very fast. But when you finally get through them, it's an amazing series. And I think I watched a few episodes of the first season of Wheel of Time, and I didn't have any problems with it. But I know they changed one of the actors, and I don't know, I'm just kind of holding back because if they're going to do it, I want to be able to, see it to its completion. So yeah, I'm not sure. It'll be interesting to see what happens as far as this TV series goes. I've got the Hogwarts Legacy game. I haven't played it, but I have it. And the, what is it, the Quidditch DLC or something that came with it or something? Or maybe that was a separate game, I don't know. All I know is it was on sale and it was like a 2-pack or something, and I bought it. I got that, and I got Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2. I played the first one, not all the way through. One series that I have not, and I forgot about this, is Fallout. I watched the first season of Fallout. That was amazing. That was a good show. I have not watched season 2 yet. I keep forgetting about it. I'm sure season 2 is good. The first season was really good, I thought. Towards the beginning of the year, my daughter and I, we watched the last season of Stranger Things. We had watched that one together from the beginning. I don't know what to think about the 5th season of Stranger Things. It got a little too weird. The whole explanation of the upside down and stuff, it wasn't quite what I had thought. And I don't know if that was what they had in mind from the beginning, or if they just kind of came up with it later. Looks like a pattern, Silent Yuki says. The ground looks like patchwork. Got Mount Fuji hiding behind that black mountain back there. I am going to guess that the airport is going to be somewhere where those 2 white lines meet. Unless another one pops up. Because we're 27 miles away. And we are on course, heading 010. 23 miles to go. I have an idea. I'm thinking about biking over to the gym and doing a workout there, and then have my wife pick me up in the truck, and then we can go out to eat for dinner or something. I know the plane sounds tired, doesn't it? We are still locked in, though. Look at the look at nav 1. We are locked on to 010. It hasn't budged at all. Alright, let me go ahead and back this up here. Let's take a quick look at the map. Let's see what we're looking at here. I think we might actually be... Take a look at this. We're on a heading of 10010. I think we might be lined up with the runway almost close, I think. Matsumoto. Oh, geez. The altitude is 2155. I'm glad I looked at that. Look at this down here. 2155. Yeah, something tells me that information is probably important. So we are 2,000 miles above the ground right now. Feet. Not miles. I don't know. Is it 2,000 miles above the ground? What are we flying? What are we flying at today, Captain? Oh, about 3,000 miles off the ground. Okay. You're not landing this thing, are you? Well, yeah? Why? Just checking. No, but Shirley, you can't be serious. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. $10 miles running. Shot. Buddy, that's really good. 10 miles is no walk in the park. And no pun intended. That's impressive. I keep in mind that I've biked 20 miles one way to work. Your 10-mile run is half of that. That's impressive, man. That is really impressive. Because I sure as hell wouldn't make it. Not running. Good luck. We're all counting on you. Yep. The altimeter is going the other direction. Look at this. It's going up. There's the runway. Okay. So yeah, we're almost lined up at the runway. That turned out pretty good. Robert Hayes, who played Ted Stryker. Someone had did an AI video of DC Super Friends, and they had Robert Hayes as Green Lantern, I think. Yeah, I thought that was kind of an interesting idea. And I think William Catt was Flash, the actor that played the greatest American hero. I don't know, that one just didn't look right. Ralph Hinckley. I remember the first episode where he got the suit and it was in that case. And he had the instruction booklet. It looked like it was it would look like it was a video game cartridge, because it was in the side of the case. It looked like it was like an Atari 2600 cartridge or something. I always wanted to see what that book looked like. Well, they did show it a little bit because you had to have the suit to read it. Otherwise, it was in an alien language. Which makes sense because it was aliens that had the super suit to begin with. Alright, we are lined up. Now if I can just get myself to stop going downwards here. Is it easier on the data to stream this compared to the newer ones? Yes. But we have unlimited data now, so it's not a problem now. But I could stream this on my phone if I wanted to. Flight Y2K is like, you got this! It's a really long white center line there. There we go. We'll park over here to the side where the mountain's at. Yeah, we'll stop there. Okay. So, let me save this here. Here's what I would like to do. Pull this up here. This is what we have left. And there's a bigger map here. So I'm thinking either tomorrow or, the next time I do a stream is actually flying into Tokyo. And maybe I like this name, Yokota. Maybe we'll do a touch and go on this one, and then come over here and land at Tokyo International, Haneda. And I'm sure there's going to be scenery and stuff over here. And then we can fly and land over here at New Tokyo International, Narita. Or or go from Tokyo here and maybe go here to Hayakuri and then down here and then end in Narita. I don't know. I think I like that. But that's the thought that I've got in regards to that. And I'll turn my webcam back on. It's kind of dark, but I was recording these flight sim sessions with just the audio, not the mic, so that way I can make some separate flight videos with them. But I think 4 hours of streaming. I think I'm good. I think it's time to take a break and give you folks a break too. That way you've got I can come back tomorrow and we can finish up the little Japan tour and do a few more airports in that Tokyo area. So we'll end it on a happy note. So Darren, dude, you're like late. You just missed the flight. Well, glad that you came. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so the stream will be available that you can watch. So, yeah, Shot, you have a good night too. So I'm going to go talk to my wife and see what she wants to do for dinner. I can go burn off some calories and stuff. But thanks all for watching. I appreciate it. And